Okay, guys, welcome back. My name is Mr. Becky, Mr. Math, and now I want to continue with your exam revision, but now I'm doing the paper-based, all right? So yesterday I did your multiple choice questions, so now I'm doing the paper-based. So yeah, let's dive into it. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you'll be able to see more and more of um, this math content. So guys, let's look at this first question here. And it says here, a glass window consists of a rectangular portion. Again, few words that you need to always look for when you are reading this statement, because you don't have a lot of time. So you can underline things like rectangular portion and and semicircular portion. So there are two things that you can see here. So I can see this first part here that they spoke about. This is your rectangular portion, this one here. All right. And they are also talking about your semicircular, which is this one here on top. Right? I hope I'm making sense. So now, what is the question here? The question says, find the area of the glass window using, or rather they are saying we can use 3.14 for our pi. So firstly, for us to find the area, we need to remember the formulas first. So I'm going to start with the first formula for the semicircular, which is the area, all right, of a semicircle. That's the one I'm going to start with. And it says A equal to half 1/2 pi r squared. So that is the formula for the semicircle, okay? But if it's a full circle, it will just be pi r squared, okay? Remember that. So let's do that one first. So we know we know the pi, so I'm going to use brackets. You should know by now that I love brackets. 3.14 for the pi, and for r, let's find the r first. Okay, let's find r first. So here, from this point to that point, it's 20. So it's the same thing like here to this point is also 20. So meaning that this is a diameter. So we have a diameter of 20 on this semicircle. But we are not looking for a diameter, but instead we are looking for a radius. So if you're looking for a radius, you need to divide by 2. Okay, please remember that. So you have to say a diameter divided by 2. So we know the diameter is 20. So if I divide by 2, then I am going to get 10. So my radius is 10. I hope that makes sense, guys. So now I can put my diameter here as 10, but it says all squared. So I'm going to put here all squared. Okay, because this is one of the things that most students do. They make a mistake out of this. And here, let's deal with, we have 1/2. We have your 3.14. Here it's same as 10 multiplied by 10. Are you following, guys? And you now have 1 over 2, 3.14, right? I hope you are still following. 1 times 1 will give you 1. And then I told you I just add those two zeros, 0 and 0. Now it's 100. Now something interesting here. So if I have 314, right, multiply by 100, what I can do here, because there are two numbers here, guys, I mean, there are two zeros here. Can you see that? So it means I can move this decimal point 2 units or 2 spaces to the right. So in other words, if it's 3, 1, 4, so it's going to move like this. That, remember, the decimal point is here, so it's going to move 1, 2. Can you see that? So it's moved from here, now it's somewhere there. So which means now my final answer will be 3, 1, 4. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so meaning that now I I no longer have 314, but now I have 1 over 2 multiply by, I don't have 3.14 rather, but now I have 314. And this 100 is no longer there because I've already multiplied with it. I hope you are still following. And now half of 314. So now I'm just looking for the half of 314. So in other words, what is 314 divided by 2, which is going to give us 157. All right, so it's going to give us 157, guys. All right, you can expand this as well if you want. For example, you can do it like 300 plus 14. I want to show you something quickly here, right? Because expansion method, for me, I love it so much. So you can divide both sides by 2, and you divide this 14 by 2. So how many 2 goes into 30? It's 15 times, and then you just bring down the 0. Did you see that? I said how many 2 goes into this 30, because it's easy for me to say 30 divided by 2, which is 15, and then I brought down the 0. And then plus, how many 2 goes into 14? 7. And then 150 plus 7 gives us 157. And that's how I got this 157. I hope that makes sense. So I've got the first one, which is 157. It was in inches, so I must write square inches because it's an area. All right, guys. So now I'm going to look for, because I've done with the semicircle, now I need to look for the rectangle, okay? So I'm going to look for the because there's a rectangular portion, so that's the one I'm going to look for now. For the rectangular portion, guys, I am now going to use this space here. So we know that, let's see if I can be able to, right, I just want to put this here so that it's easy for you guys to see. Okay, so now I'm going to look for the rectangular portion. I'm done with the first part. So for the rectangular portion, area of a rectangular, okay, area of a rectangular portion. Okay, so remember the formula is A equal to L times W. Okay, are you guys following? So always remember on your rectangular, this part here, that's your rectangular part. So the longer side is your L and the shorter side is your W. So you have 30 multiplied by 20, right? If you have zeros, please don't stress yourself too much. Just multiply the numbers only. So you have 2 multiplied by 3, you still get the same answer, which is 6. And then you just bring down your 2 zeros, okay? Because 1, 2, 0. So this is going to be 0 and 0. And again, it's inches. So you got square inches. There you go. But they want the area of this whole thing. We already have the area of the semicircle, which is 157. So now I'm going to say area of a semi portion plus, which is, the semicircular portion plus the area of a rectangle. So remember, for a rectangle was, okay, for a semicircular portion, it was 157. That's the answer that we got, plus this one here for rectangular, which is 600. So if I add both of this, I am getting my answer to be 757. I hope that makes sense, guys. So simply what we did, we just took 600 like this, and we added it with 157. Those of you have forgotten. So here it's 7, here it's 5, and there it's 7. So that's your addition, guys. All right. So I hope that makes sense. And again, everything is square inches. So do not forget to write that. So it's square inches. All right. So this is your final answer for A. Now, the second part of the question says, if one glass sheet covers 100 square inches, how many glass sheets will be needed for the window? So this one is also not difficult. All right. So all what you do, this is my B, guys. Okay. I don't have, I'm sure you can still see the space here. So so you take the answer that you got, which is in this case 757, and then you're going to divide by what it covers. So in this case, it covers 100 square inches. So you're going to divide it by 100. Okay. So if you're dividing, remember now, guys, when we are dividing, remember when we were multiplying by 100, we moved to the right. But now when we are dividing, sorry, when we are multiplying, this is multiplying, we moved to the right. Okay. We moved the decimal point to the right. But now when we are dividing, we move the decimal point to the left. When we are dividing, we move it to the left. I hope this makes sense. So what does this look like now? So this means if I'm having my 7 here, and I have maybe my 5 here, and I'm having my 7 there. So basically, on a whole number, the point is here on the last part. That's where the decimal point normally is. Normally, you will not see it. It's not written, but that's where the decimal point is. Okay, so then we can move it from here like this, like that. Can you see? This is because I am dividing. Okay, if I was multiplying, my decimal point could have been here, and then I was going to move like this. But you get the idea. Okay. So yeah. So which means now, but yeah, I hope this makes sense. I've moved to the left. So now my answer here will be 7.57. So it's moved, it was here, and then it moved 1, 2. So it's 7.57. So because this is not a whole number, and this one here, I can round it off to one whole number. And if I round it off, to a one whole number. So this means that we need at least 8. We need at least 8 sheets. So we need at least 8 sheets. So this is what is needed. So we need at least 8 sheets. I hope, guys, this makes sense. Okay. If you did not understand it, always go back to your question to check it again. All right. Let's move on to the next question. And here we are looking for a volume of this toy. So in this case, again, we need to ask ourselves, this looks like a composite figure. We need to ask ourselves, what is it that we are looking for here? And it looks like we have 2 things. We have a pyramid, which is right on top. This part here looks like a pyramid. Okay, yes, it is a pyramid, but it's a rectangular pyramid. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. So, and we also have a rectangular prism. So there's a rectangular pyramid and a rectangular prism. So those are 2 things. So let's start with the rectangular pyramid. Okay, so what is the formula now for this one here? It says volume equal to 1/3. Do not forget that. Base times height. I hope I'm making sense, because this is not a prism, guys. This is a pyramid. So it's very important to remember that. So we're going to have 1/3. Because it's a rectangular, guys, again, very important, rectangular. So for the base, which is the area of a rectangular in this case, because it's a rectangular shape here, the base here is a rectangular. So that's why I'm using the rectangular. If it was a triangular, I was going to use the formula for the area of the rectangular. I hope I'm making sense. And the formula for a rectangular, it's L times W. This is for just for the base. And I'm multiplying by this H, which is outside here. And now my length here, which is this part. Okay. So 1/3. And my length is 16. Okay. My length is 16 multiplied by my width here, which is this one here, which is 5. I hope I'm making sense. Then I'm going to multiply by the height, which is this one here. How tall is my pyramid? And I'm multiplying by 6 because they gave me there, it is 6. Now, you need to be smart here when you are working with this. I like to work with the one inside, and I have 16 times 5, which is, again, you can do your expansion if you want to, which is basically what we've been doing all along. So you have your 10 plus 6, and then you're multiplying everything by 5, multiplying everything by 5. You should know this by now. 10 times 0 is, sorry, 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5, which gives you 50. Now, the multiples of 5, what is 5 times 6 is going to give us 30. If you add both of that, you get your 80, guys. So we can see now we have 1/3 multiply by 80. And I'm still multiplying by the 6 outside. So with this 6 here. And let's do that. So now that I have a fraction here, it's difficult. Well, it can be done, but it can be difficult to divide 8 divided by 3. But I can simplify these two. You know what I mean? How many 3 goes into 6? It's 2 times, because 1/3, because remember now, how did I get this? It's 1/3 multiplied by 6/1. 1 times 6 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3. That's how I got 6/3, because most of the students, they always ask me, how did you get 6/3? So that's how I got that 6/3. So now my answer here now is 2, because 6/3 is 2, right? And now I'm going to multiply everything by 80. Now, 2 multiplied by 80, or 2 multiplied by 8 is 16, and then you just bring down the 0, and here we go. Now you have your 160. And now, again, check your units. The units here, it's centimeter, because it's a volume. So you're going to write centimeter with a small 3 on top, which is 160 cubic centimeters. All right, guys? So I hope that makes sense. But this is not complete. I still need to find now the rectangular. So now I need to do the next one. Now I need to find, let me use a different color. So now I need to find the rectangular prism. Can you see this one here? Now we have a rectangular prism now. Okay, guys? That's very important. So for my rectangular prism, now the formula is different. I'm still looking for volume. V equal to B multiplied by H. Can you see now I'm not putting 1/3? So I'm going to say, now it's a rectangular again. So for my base, it's going to be L times W. Very important. Multiply by the H. Okay? You can put brackets or you don't put brackets. It's almost the same thing, guys. So now let's look at this one here. Again, the length here, this is your length. Okay, the long one is, it's 16. So we have 16. And the shorter one, which is your W, it is 5. And multiply by the height, which is this one here, your height, the one going up. And it is 3, guys. So now you have, we've done 16 times 5 already. So I'm not going to do it again. So 16 times 5 is 80, which is 80. And we are going to multiply it by 3. Are we following, guys? So you have your 8 times 3, your 8 times 3, because we'll bring down the 0. So 8 times 3 is what, guys? So remember, 8 times 2 is 16, plus 8. See, this is, okay, plus 8. What is this one here, guys? 6. This is 14. I mean, 8 plus 6 is 14. So you carry 1. And yeah, remember, this is addition, not multiplication. All right. So 1 plus that 1 is 24. So that's why, guys, you end up with your answer here is 24, and you bring down the 0, which is 240. Okay, guys? I hope this makes sense. So all what I did here, I said 8 times 3. Okay. I know what is 8 plus 8. I know it's 16. And then I added another 8. And then 16 plus 8 gave me 24. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay? So I'm always trying to give you some basic in terms of adding and multiplying these numbers. Okay? Because remember, there will be no calculators in an exam. Now, once we've done that, you are now going to add both this 160 and that of, let's see if I have some few spaces here. So I can now add the one for the pyramid. So I can add both. So I'm going to add the volume of a pyramid plus the volume of a rectangular prism. Okay, so now this was 160 plus 240, and this will give you 400. For those of you who have forgotten how to do it, all you do, you just say 240 plus 160 like that. So you align it. So 0 and 0, you get 0. And 4 plus 6, you get 10. And you write your 0 and you carry 1. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus that 1, it's 4. So guys, these are just the basics when it comes to addition. And again, it's a volume, so it's going to be 400. I don't have space, I'm going to write it here. Okay, cubic centimeters. Okay, it's the same as this one here. Okay, cubic centimeters. I hope that, guys, makes sense. If it does not, make sure you go back to it and check it again. All right, let's move on to the next one, guys. Okay, the next one talks about, let's see. It says find the surface area. Okay, guys, I think we haven't been doing surface area, but yeah, now is our time to do it. So the surface area, guys, it's okay. We did it in multiple choice. I remember there was a question about the surface area as well. So the surface area, it's all about all the areas, okay, and then you add them together. The one that we did, it was a composite. This was a composite figure looking for the volume, and then we did the volume of a pyramid and the volume of a rectangular prism. Now we are doing the surface area. That is the difference. Very important. Surface area of this prism. This one here that you see. So I'm going to write a formula first. You remember the one that we did that says 2LW, I will tell you why, plus 2 LH. So this is LH, and plus 2 HW. So you get LW, LH, and HW. If you remember that, you will never go wrong. So why it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2? Because remember, guys, we have this part here. This part is exactly the same as the one at the back here. Can you see that? So that's why we're saying there are 2. And if you look at this part here on the side, I hope you can see my pen moving on this one. It's same as the one there at the back where I'm moving my pen now. So there are 2 of them. Can you see that? And again, the last one, let me use a kind of different pen. And if you look at this one here on top, right? And the one at the bottom, right there at the bottom, they are also the same. So there are 2. That's why everything here is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I hope this now makes sense, guys. So I'm going to start now by labeling these. And let me start by saying this will be my height. I'm just going to use red, guys. So my 4 here, I will use it as my height because it tells me how high the box is. And then I will have this one here as my length, depending on where we are. This will be my length. Okay. And this will be my W. Okay. Let's try now to fit in all of these things here on this. Right. So we have twice. So twice my length is 10 here. right? And my W is 5. Okay. I want this to be clear. Right, it's 5. And then plus, let's go to the next one. Twice. My length again is 10. And my H is 4. My H is 4. Right? Then plus the last one. Twice. My H again is 4. And my my W is 5. Okay. So let's work on this one here now. So guys, I label my box first, and then I use my formula. So I have twice. What is 10 times 5 is 50, plus 10 times 4 is 40, plus 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, are we following, guys? So 2 times 50 is 100, plus 2 times 40 is 80, plus 2 times 20 is 40. Okay, does it make sense, guys? Let me recap on this one here. So the first thing I did was to write the formula, right? Which is 2LW and 2LH and 2HW. Okay, so this is H, do not forget. And then after that, I went straight to my box. I identified the longest side, which is my L, the shortest side, which is my W, and the height, like the one going up, which is 4. Okay, that's what I did. And then after that, I went straight to my formula now to substitute. All right. So my L is 10 and my W is 5. Are we all good? And then I went to the next one, which is this one here. My L is 10 again, which is this L is 10. And my H, which is this H, is 4. Okay, this 4 here. Okay, this is my H. Don't get confused. This is the H I'm talking about. Okay, and now I went to the HW, and then my H is 4 and my W is 5. I think that makes sense. And then now after that, I multiply these ones here. 10 times 5, I got 50. 10 times 4, I got 40. 4 times 5, I got 20. Clear? Then I now come to the next part. 2 times 50, I got 100. Or you can just say 2 times 5 is 10, and then you add your 0, okay? Or 2 times 4, 8, and then you add your 0. 2 times 4, sorry, 2 times 2, 4, and then you add your 0, okay? That's how we've got these numbers here. After that, I'm going to add all of these. So I have, I can say here, there are many ways to do this. 100. These ones here are easy. What is 8 plus 4, which is 12? And then you bring down that's 0, guys. Okay. Am I making sense? So this is basically this 0, 8. Okay. You get my point. So now 1 plus 1 is 2, and then this will be 220. What do I mean by this? 100 plus 120. I'm trying to make sure that I accommodate everyone. 0 and 0, it's 0. 0 plus 2 will give us 2. 1 plus 1 will give us 2. So now we have 220. Because it's the area, we write the unit as square centimeters, not cubic this time, but square centimeters. I hope that makes sense. And if you don't understand, always go back to this question, guys. There's a lot of things happening in this question, but go back to it. You'll understand better. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's move on, guys. Okay, next question. And I think I'm going to stop this question here. So we take a breather and yeah, so then we don't make it too long. Okay. So let's take a breather.